Well, just wanted to give you a little insight if anybody ever thinks about making a game. Is before we started this, we had the option to go to what you can find on. I think I found this on Board Game Geek a while back. And it's called Hexdraw. It's 38 computer development software. So there you go. Now, my only setback is I'm not really a vassal guy. I mean, don't get me wrong; it's got its purposes and its place, but the only hard thing about this, and like I said, it'd be great if you could put all these effects onto your map, but the problem would be printing out such a long map. I think you'd have to go to a professional printer or something. I have no printer that's going to have a print out a sheet that's 12 inches wide or 16, 18, 20 inches wide. So yeah, that's why we're doing it the way we are. But there is other ways to do it. And like I said, I've looked into this, messed with it a little bit, but we might get some of the tiles and use them, tile-wise, if I can cut them out. But other than that, just wanted to make note in my game development, we have looked into doing it online and doing it on the screen, but I prefer my way better. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, we could use some ideas, maybe some templates from this software, but yeah, if you want to make a game and you want to do it on Vassal or something, that type, there you go. They got all kinds of good software for it. We might get into this later again sometime, but yeah, that is a little note from the game development section of War Room, section of Man Cave. We're back. All right. Also, doing this little, real rough drawing of how to start this game. This will be the initial Gettysburg map. These are positions the next day after the battle. And we got what we're going to do first is a recon roll by the Union forces. Determines. Recon roll for who moves first. We'll use 2 die, and it'll be a -2 die roll modifier for the Union. Because old Meade, old Meade, ain't too sure of the victory. He tore everybody up. Man, I think when they made that charge, Pickett's charge, suckers had a hill here and another kind of hill here with artillery. I mean, you talk about a meat grinder that Lee threw them into. And on top of that, these are all defensive positions, big open fields, and then when you get there, you got a little fence. You gotta get across. Oh my God! And I mean, I knew all this, but I've become quite the expert now looking at this. But yeah, they had their first initial artillery duel. The Union silenced their guns, but not all at once. They kind of went boom, 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 and then boom, 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 and they kind of silenced them down, tricking the Confederates into thinking that they nailed their guns. What are the odds of that? I mean, Confederates had a lot of stupidity going on there. And I want to make just a personal note right now on, everybody's about Robert E. Lee being such a general. I don't know about old Lee. Something tells me that he was kind of a megalomaniac. I don't know which general told him that he's been in the Army for so long, so many battles, everything else, there's no way in hell any force here is going to take this position. I mean, it's the famous line. I'm sure everybody heard about it and everything, and where Lee's famous statement was, the enemy is there, and that's where I will strike him. What a goofball. I think I probably would have pulled out my pistol and shot him in the head right there. See you, Lee. You're done. So anyway, he sent everybody in there, grabbed all the brigades he could. Boy, weren't you all happy when you were picked for that brigade? And Pickett's charge and everybody else came on in here. But yeah, by the time that this line reached this point, it was only a line like that because everybody had been shot up and everybody's moving towards the center to fill the gaps in the line. So by the time this line started, it was looking like this up here, probably looking like this up here, even less, and then they all kind of retreated. So that's a synopsis of the beginning of my game. And the key is going to be who can get all these old wagons on this road and get the heck back home, because we just got our asses beat by a freaking nut named Lee. Ordered a charge. These people are getting raked right here. All the cannons here. I didn't even know that they were just raking them down the line. I mean, that's the best thing you want to do is have people in line and shoot, artillery at them. So that is basically what's happened, and we'll be back for more GWG's game development of Lee is trapped and must be taken. I'll be back. Alright, well then one more last thought for you. I got a bunch of chores I got to take care of today. Then we'll get back to some development. I want to get started on this initial part of my game, though, on a tactical map. If we do it this way. This is all, so preliminary, it's pathetic. But when the Confederate general didn't shoot Lee in the head when he proposed this crazy plan, I think he had a couple of them there with him. I mean, in the video I watched, he was just standing there talking to, I want to say it was Longstreet he was talking to. I'm not really sure. But the generals proposed a cavalry charge down this way. And I didn't get a chance to think of the plan, but as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh, that's the route. I mean, who goes head on? Frontal attacks. Don't really does frontal attacks anymore. But anyway, he shot him down and said, no, the enemy's there. This is where I'm striking him. So he ended up striking him this way and losing the battle. The key thing is, everybody can say what they want about Lee. I think he's nuts. He was, like I said, I probably would have put out my pistol and said, you're crazy, bang, and shot him. But anyway, to his credit, I think when this Pickett's charge got to about right here, a little light, and I don't want to know, there's a little light went off in his head, that I've got to get this whole force of mine back home. And how am I going to do it? He started thinking right then and there, when he seen this charge going down, battle's lost, we got to get out of there. And in the video that I watched, that kind of fascinated me about Lee and his, I guess, if you could say genius, whoever ordered this was too much of a genius, but that's when he started gathering around, so we got to get back across the Potomac, back to Virginia, I guess was homey home for him. Where'd he go? It's just want to throw those two little notes in there, and we'll be back. All right, back here we're sitting down with our game. More thoughts in this battle map. I know I always say that final thoughts, but so anyway, Lee, and I'm thinking in Lee's defense that he figured that it was just a matter of bringing force to bear. Realizing, like I said earlier, he figured that the Union guns were silenced, were taken care of. Oh, General, it seems like we've silenced, we've destroyed the Union guns, and and they were just saving ammo. This is a good little story here. So he's thinking that he's gonna he had like 8 brigades. I forget how many gathered. I'm just gonna overwhelm him. I mean, it's kind of maybe seen his logic. Well, could you imagine being him and seeing your force come up, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 all these things open up. Whoa, they weren't taken out. They're tearing my forces up. And that might have been the point where a little light went off in his head and said, we got to get back here. Why he didn't call a general retreat or withdraw when he seen what was going on and let him continue to get decimated, who knows. But and another thing I was thinking is if I was old Lee and I seen this going on, just out of self-preservation, man, my ass is grass. Why didn't he get court-martialed or anything by that? I mean, even out in the field, demoted. Who knows? One thing he had going in his favor, and that's a big part of the game, is Meade wasn't that far, had better line of communication. He could talk to Lincoln and, I want to say Hickok or some his immediate superiors in Washington pretty quick. So they were pretty much telling him what to do. Whereas old fucking Lee was a ways away from Richmond, and old Jefferson Davis, and he pretty well had carte blanche. He was a supreme commander in a way. So, but I was kind of curious when he got back. Did he get any trouble for that? I guess not, because he served out through the war. But yeah, there might have been some times, and they stuck with Lee all the way through it. So he must have had a pedigree and a half where they didn't fuck with him. But after this, and even his commanders, I'd be looking at him like, you don't. First thing I would have thought of Longstreet, I fucking told you so, you idiot. Fuck. Oh, we would have had some words. All those people that died. All right. That's it. We'll post this one up. We'll be back. Yep, we're back. Just have to make one more announcement because the video that's going to follow this, you'll hear it kind of later. But we were at Art Wolf's Lair little meeting earlier, and we were watching this video. I don't get to watch too many of them, but every once in a while I do get a chance to get them live. Usually I watch them after the fact. But they were talking about Callendale And Artie said something like, or Gary said something like, yeah, well, he just posts, he posts at least a video a week. Too many videos for me to ever watch. And I thought to myself, and like I said, you'll hear this in my next Washington's War for America video. And he has kind of, too many videos. And I debated whether, hey, if he thinks he puts out too many videos, man, I put one out maybe an hour or at least one a day. It's been a while, but this is my gaming season. You won't see this happen in the summer. But I thought, wow, maybe I should cut back. Maybe I'm doing too much. But I thought, no, I really like playthroughs. So this is a playthrough channel. As a matter of fact, I think if more channels like Player's Aid and Gary's channel, and even, I don't even know if Dan Pecanelli plays games. I think he's just a media guy. Does he even play war games? I'd love to see those guys play a war game. There was one where they had the original Grognard played another channel. Now this is great. This is what I really like. The original Grognard and another channel. It was a game of them. They were playing some kind of John Tiller's Prussian, like Frederick the Great or something like that, a Prussian game. And on each of their channel, you got the commentary about what their moves were going to be against the other person, and they had the agreement that they weren't going to watch the other person's channel because you could see what they were doing. But that's what I thought that was great. Now I never did get to finish watching it because it was like a 10 or 12 parter, but it was great. I mean, I guess I don't say much for it, but yeah, I love to dig it up. Old original Grognard, he don't do videos no more. He got a job finally developing games, and yeah, he says it takes up his time. He goes, I do it for a job. I don't want to make videos no more. That sucks. I think I would not work on games if it's going to spoil me enjoying games. Anyway, okay. Yeah, we're not doing it on video screen. We're doing it here, 3D'd. Getting all kinds of ideas and comments. If you like playthroughs where you can actually see how the game goes and watch, your favorite, what do you call it, gaming channels, people, yeah, they need to do more playthroughs. I like to watch that. But if you like playthroughs, you're at the right channel, and we'll be back calling it a video.